Welcome to Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedion James, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's stories. President Tinubu returns to Abuja after Eid holiday in Lagos. PDP factions open peace talks as Wike denies split. Plus, Iran receives US 15-point plan to end Mideast war. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Good morning and thank you for staying tuned. We begin the news at 10 from a national scene where President Bola Tinubu yesterday departed Lagos for Abuja after marking the Eid al-Fitr following his historic state visit to the United Kingdom. Presidential spokesman Bayo Nanuga disclosed this in a statement, saying Tinubu's plane left the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport at 6:44 p.m. Nanuga stated that Vice President Kashim Shettima also came to Lagos to brief the president on his trip to Borno State, following the recent suicide bombing. He added that Ogun State's Governor Dapo Abiodun and the former Governor of Ogun State, Aremo Olusegun Osoba, were at the president's residence for the departure ceremony. Orders at the airport for the departure were the Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamza, senior government officials and party stalwart. Away from that, Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State has removed Shegun Shagagi from his position as Commissioner for Investment, Commerce and Industry with immediate effect. The decision was announced in a statement issued today by the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Tofa. According to the statement, Sagagi has been directed to hand over all responsibilities of the ministry to the Director of Commerce without delay. Governor Yusuf thanked the former commissioner for his service during his time in office. On judicial matters, the Federal High Court in Abuja has affirmed the final forfeiture of $13 million linked to Lagos socialist Aisha Ashimongo and his company Ocean Gate Engineering Oil and Gas Limited to the federal government. Delivering judgment, Justice Emeka Nwite held that the funds had been sufficiently established by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission as proceeds of fraud and unlawful activities. The court gave the ruling in a suit instituted by Ocean Gate Engineering Oil and Gas Limited, which sought to reclaim the funds. Justice Nwite held that the company failed to satisfactorily explain the source of the money, noting that the EFCC met all legal requirements to justify its forfeiture. The judge dismissed claims that the $13 million constituted gift received by Ocean Gate through Ashimongo, adding that Ashimongo did not appear before the court to justify why the funds should not be forfeited. Let's move now to politics, where the two People's Democratic Party factions have restarted their faltering peace process ahead of March 29 to 30, 2026 National Convention being championed by the bloc led by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The bloc headed by Tanimu Taraki and supported by the party's governors confirmed that a fresh reconciliation process aimed at uniting aggrieved factions within the party has commenced. Taraki, who disclosed these while addressing newsmen in Abuja, explained that the reconciliation, which was kick-started on Tuesday night, is yielding some results. Taraki said they were mindful of the dispute implications amid the tight electoral act timelines and urged the other factions to act in the parties of rural interest. On security matters, the Department of State Services (DSS) has successfully rescued the Administrative Secretary of Kebiya Local Government Council, Hamza Duya, who was recently kidnapped in Kano State. Confirming the development, the Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Abdullahi Waya, disclosed this in an official statement that the operation also led to the arrest of 2 suspected kidnappers. He explained that the victim had been taken from his residence in Duya village within Kebiya local government area, prompting an immediate response from security agencies across the state. According to the Commissioner, DSS operatives in the state carried out a coordinated operation that resulted in Duya's search, rescue and capture of 2 suspects who sustained gunshot injuries during the encounter. Let's move now to Africa, where Egypt Foreign Minister Bad Abdelatif said during a press conference on Wednesday that his country's mediation between Iran and the U.S. continues in cooperation with Pakistan and Turkey, adding that the war should end based on a win-win situation, not a zero-sum game. He also offered to host any meetings related to de-escalating the U.S.-Iran war. Speaking during a press conference in Cairo, Abdelatif also warned that opportunities for negotiation could be running out and urged for a direct meeting between representatives from the U.S. and Iran. Iran, however, has rejected the first ceasefire proposal made by Donald Trump's government. But there are reports that Iranian officials may be considering a meeting with U.S. negotiators, possibly taking place in Islamabad in Pakistan over the next week. Still in Africa, South African prosecutors said they intend to charge the head of police over a $20 million health tender in a case that has rocked the country and pulled in dozens other officials. According to Kaiser Kenyango, spokesman for South Africa's National Prosecuting Authority National Police Commissioner Fenai Masamola has been served with a summons to appear in court next month. The case centers on a now-cancelled 2024 police tender for health services awarded to businessman Vusi Musi Kat Matalala, who is suspected of links to organized crimes. It was not immediately clear what charges Masamola will face, but a police spokeswoman confirmed he will honor the April 21 court appearance. Let's move down to the foreign scene, where Iran has received a 15-point plan from the United States to start the Middle East war, Pakistani officials said yesterday, raising hopes for a diplomatic solution, even as Iran said it has fired a volley of cruise missiles at U.S. aircraft carrier. A conflict that began on February 28 with a U.S.-Israeli bombing campaign on Iran has rapidly engulfed the entire region, sending oil prices skyrocketing and threatening to derail the global economy. U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly claimed progress in talks with Iran in recent days, even though Tehran has denied any negotiations were taking place. So on the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump insisted that Iran was taking part in peace talks, suggesting Tehran's denials were because Iranian negotiators fear being killed by their own side. The U.S. leader's comment came after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that they do not intend to negotiate. Trump repeated his assertion that Iran was being disseminated in the conflict now in the 4th week. Even though Tehran still maintains an effective stranglehold over the crucial stretch of Hormuz oil route in Iran. Still to come in the news. FIFA opens disciplinary proceedings against Congo FA officials. Stay tuned for details of this in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. Now let's go over to the concluding part of today's stories. On our business news, the Central Bank of Nigeria has approved the full repatriation of export proceeds by international oil companies, allowing them to access 100% of their foreign exchange earnings through authorized dealer banks. The directive was contained in a circular issued by the Apex Bank's Trade and Exchange Department and published on its website on Wednesday. In a circular signed by the Director, Trade and Exchange Department, Dr. Musa Nakoji, the bank said the move forms part of ongoing reforms to improve liquidity and stability in the foreign exchange market. The CBN stated that the decision marks a shift from its earlier policy introduced in 2024, which allowed authorized dealer banks to pool 50% of repatriated export proceeds on behalf of oil firms, while the balance was held for 90 days before repatriation. Still in business, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has expressed concern over the increasing prevalence of unsafe and substandard products in the Nigerian market, warning that this trend is eroding consumer trust and undermining the country's economic integrity. The Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the FCCPC, Tunji Bello, raised the alarm in Abuja during the commemoration of World Consumer Rights Day 2026 and the 9th National Consumer Contest Award. Speaking on the theme Safe Products, Confident Consumers, Bello said the rising uncertainty around product safety is already affecting market behavior and consumer confidence. We move now to health, where the Earth Healthcare Foundation has called for increased budgetary allocation to the health sector, particularly for HIV and AIDS and TB treatment, amid significant reductions in international donor funding. Senior Advocacy and Marketing Manager, AHF Nigeria, Steve Aborishade, made the call during an advocacy meeting with Kogi State House of Assembly yesterday in Lokoja. Aborishade highlighted the progress made in HIV and AIDS treatment in Nigeria and advocated for effective partnerships. He emphasized the need for collaboration between implementing partners, civil society organizations, and the government to mobilize local resources and sustain the gains made. Let's move now to sport, where FIFA has opened disciplinary proceedings against Congo Football Federation, FECOFOOT, officials over financial misconduct. The World Football Governing Body confirmed this in a statement. FECOFOOT President Jean-Guy Mayolas is one of the key people that are facing allegations of financial misconduct. Recall that earlier this month, Mayolas was handed a life sentence alongside his wife and his son by a criminal court in Brazzaville, the Congolese capital. They were convicted of embezzling $1.1 million of FIFA funds. Still in sport, Senegal have lodged an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport over the decision to strip them of the African Cup of Nations title and hand the trophy to Morocco. Senegal are hoping to overturn the decision by Africa's football governing body to strip them of the title after several of their players walked off the pitch in protest at the penalty awarded to Morocco during the Cup of Nations final on January 18, which the Senegalese side went on to win 1-0 in extra time. Recall that CAF announced on March 17 that it had upheld an appeal by the Moroccan Football Federation, saying that Senegal had infringed tournament regulations by walking off. As a result, it declared Senegal to have forfeited the match, turning its 1-0 victory into a 3-0 defeat, making host Morocco the champions. On our entertainment news, popular Nigerian self-acclaimed relationship expert, Blessing CEO, has called on the general public for financial help. This came after she put her Lagos mansion up on distress sale to raise money for chemotherapy treatment. However, in a new Instagram video Wednesday evening, Blessing begged Nigerians for financial assistance. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel all over Wike you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. I am Emma James and you've been watching Spectrum News at 10. Do enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.